Ms. Strickland is recognized for 5 minutes.
Makes sense to me.
Thank you, Chairman Smith and Ranking Member Rogers, and thank you to Secretary Wormuth and General McConville. I have the privilege of representing Joint Base Lewis McChord and the more than 40,000 service members who call it home. Joint Base Lewis McChord, or Jblm, is the Army's only forward projection platform that is west of the Rockies in the continental U.S. and has an important role as the department continues to focus on the Indo-Pacific. I also recognize that Joint Base Lewis McChord is one of the fastest growing regions in the entire United States, and that creates challenges with housing, training, and encroachment concerns. I'm committed to working with Jblm and all parties to address these issues and maintain Jblm's readiness. Secretary Wormuth, I want to discuss several issues that are very important to my district. One of my priorities since entering office is to facilitate a productive and positive relationship between Jblm and the Nisqually Tribe of Indians. As the Nasuali has tried to meet its community's growth needs, it's been constrained by Jblm on 3 sides. The Nasuali are seeking to transfer 112 acres of unused land from Jblm to the Nisqually. While negotiations over this transfer have been progressing for the past year and a half, it is my expectation that all parties will ensure that these negotiations maintain prioritization and that negotiations are finalized in a manner that is equitable and timely. So, Secretary, will you please commit to working with me to help resolve this issue in a way that provides equitable benefits to all parties by fiscal year 23? My staff and I stand at the ready.
Thank you, Congresswoman. I certainly commit to you to work on this issue with you. I am actually going to be going out to see Jblm in August, I believe, and would be happy to frankly learn more about the situation there, and would be, again, happy to work with you and make sure that we are being inclusive in terms of the negotiations that are ongoing.
Well, thank you. We look forward to your visit, and thank you for that commitment. I want to talk a bit now about the Jblm's role in ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific. It's strategically vital, and we know that it's important to maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Army plans to have 3 multi-domain task forces, MDTFs, 1 in Europe and 2 in the Indo-Pacific. Joint Base Lewis McChord was proud to host the pilot program. As you consider requirements in the Indo-Pacific, will you commit to keeping one of the task forces at Jblm?
Congresswoman, we are also very proud of the first multi-domain task force and are very pleased that it is already being, part of our ability to experiment with new concepts and new operational approaches. Certainly, it's going to be very important to be able to have a West Coast orientation for our MDTFs. I think, we'll want to look overall at our strategy, particularly as this administration is developing a revised national defense strategy. So we'll want to look at the entirety of our global posture and where we put our new capabilities. But we're very pleased with the work that MDTF is doing already, and I think it's in a good place right now.
Great. And then one quick issue that one of my colleagues raised already, the issue of housing. As one of the fastest growing markets in the country, I hear from service members coming here and their spouses that housing is hard to find. And it's expensive here because the supply is constrained. In many cases, we have a base allowance for housing that just doesn't keep up with the cost of housing in our market. And spouses are often required to work so that they can meet their basic needs and even put food on the table. So will you please work with me to find creative solutions to addressing the housing affordability and supply crisis affecting our service members? For example, there are over 700 households on the waiting list right now to get housing on post at Jblm, but we know that 70% of those served live off base.
Yes, Congresswoman, I'll certainly work with you to try to address these kinds of challenges. We see costs, frankly, also rising in Austin, Texas, where we have Army Futures Command, and we know that's a challenge, particularly for some of our younger soldiers and families. So we will do our best to work with you in this area.
All right. Thank you very much for answering those questions. I yield back my time, Mr. Chair.